I thought we could create like a bit of a love board. Are we compatible or are we calling it quits?
So basically we're doing a therapy session online.
Past relationships, do you think that they've shaped you?
You're completely paralysed by fear of walking down the aisle.
I think I might be about to cry, guys. Do you ever close your eyes when we're having sex? Hello and welcome to He Said, She Said. This is the show where we bear all about our relationship in a bid to encourage you guys to have those difficult conversations and build long-lasting, healthy partnerships.
Yes, it is. Look at your purple gown.
Thank you.
You look like
Oh, you didn't even say a compliment. I said thank you.
I was about it, but you look like something out of Sex and the City over there.
Well, on the note of that, she is on my vision board. I thought we could do something cool today, which is create like a bit of a love board.
Right, okay. Is this something that we like do with our hands or just talk about it?
Well, you know what? One of the girls that I work with, she did something with her partner last weekend where she actually did create these vision boards, but they were like love boards. And it was a way of making sure that her and her partner were aligned on certain things. But I think that this idea of like a love map takes it to the next level, because what I'm going to try and do is to try and create your vision board for you or explain how I see it, and then to see whether I actually know you really well.
Okay.
And then you can do the opposite for me. And there are different kind of like themes. So I'll basically go through what I think to be your dreams, goals and aspirations. We can then see how aligned we are on that.
Okay.
It's a bit like, what's that game show where like you have to get, you want to both get the same answer, right? Like you ask a question and you've already answered. Is that Mr. and Mrs.? No.
I know what you mean.
What's the game show? Where like you've
how
already
well do you know your partner type
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of thing. And then I'll go through your past, childhood, previous relationships and how I think that those have shaped you as a person.
Bloody hell, this is assuming you know me inside out.
Like look at like triggers maybe that you have and why you might struggle with them.
What the hell?
And then look at like your morals, values and things that are important to you.
So basically we're doing a therapy session online. You're going to go deep into my
No,
vault
I'm going to
here.
keep it light and we're going to also flip it round. So I don't want you to get stressed.
Right, so you're basically gonna. I feel like I'm on This Is Your Life with Parkinson. This is what's about to happen, isn't it? Go on, tell me what you think you know about my life.
It's also quite nice to talk about someone else for a change instead of us just talking about.
Go on, tell me how you
ourselves.
see my life. I want to see how.
Okay, so right, we've got big, what are they called? VW camper van, but like big one, like that on steroids. So we've got like bunk beds for friends, cousins.
Bloody hell.
Maybe like, okay, we're parked up also with your car with the roof tent pitched open. We're by like a lake. There's like reeds like blowing in the wind. There are animals in fields, like colourful wildflowers. Actually, no, your sort of vision is quite like green. Everything is pretty green. So more like leafy, woody, like thick, tall trees. You love a massive tree, like rooting you to the ground that you can get your bare feet into and occasionally hug, although you'd never do that in front of anybody because you're not really like an exhibitionist. You're quite a private person. So
surprisingly accurate.
So actually, and then there's, what do they call these big redwoods? And there are like tunnels of them. And you've also got your motorbike there. And you're coming back to family, but you're also going away. So you're getting that free time. So you're jumping on the motorbike and you're doing laps, like racing up, down these redwood channels.
This is definitely a form of therapy.
And okay, good.
My eyes are shut and I'm like transported.
And that's where you get, you allow your release. So your brain just goes, I'm free. And then you come back and you're restored. And then you cook a barbecue and you serve your family and you do the things that you know well how to do. So maybe then there's, actually you're not really a fisherman, but you could have like a fishing rod. You like to try. So like there are things that you are trying to like embark on, learning these new skills with, you've got a little pen knife in your mood board. There's like an axe, like you want to be the guy that can build us a home and provide for your family, but you're not quite there yet. And this is why you need to visualize this. I think I might be about to cry, guys. And so, yeah, there's this sort of like remote cabin and you're kind of like, you're over time gradually like piecing it together, like brick by brick or wooden plank by wooden plank, but not in a rush. and it's modest. But then equally, like, I'm also seeing a sort of Omega watch in the vision board, and that's quite bougie, but it's trying to find a way to bring in this, how can you be like a woodland man
with a bit of cash in my pocket,
with a bit of cash in your pocket that like, but also is like so authentic to the things that you believe in, that you think the brands are going to flood to you because they really like buy into your story and the person that you are. And there's also some seaside, there's some skiing, there's lots of like sports, there's some like wooden old school 80s tennis rackets that Javon has definitely not what's it called? Strong.
Very descriptive.
Some family there. Oh, this is therapy for me.
Well, keep going.
But there's also like there's a stereo, and you can change the channels on the dials. So when cousins of Leo's get a bit noisy, you just go, "Wah!" and you can turn that noise down. This is basically our dream holiday.
Is that like a universal remote, but it's stereo? So you can like, turn down the kids.
You just go, actually, I want to like zone out of that one for now. And then what else are your aspirations? I think there's definitely more travel in there, obviously, like the big Japanese obsession. So there are some like Japanese samurai like swords and maybe like a little like a first class aeroplane cabin. We're talking like aspirations here.
Sure.
Like delicious sushi, outdoor eating outside, like a lot of alfresco dining. What's the place? There's like Noma, that restaurant somewhere in Scandinavia. Like, always wanted to go there. Everything's like grown in the garden.
You're doing a wonderful. I'm quite nervous when it comes to my shot at this.
Okay, so starry sky, clear skies, ponds without the murky waters, just like little ripples, sounds of nature.
Oh, I've realised what you're doing. This is like a anti-anxiety inducing form of therapy.
I'm really just like winging it here. This is an idea that I'm kind of flying with. I'll add like a few more aspirational bits and then I'll move on to like the past, because I think your aspirations do not just sit within the realm of like being in a peaceful forest, like frolicking and swinging on a hammock and like singing lullabies around a campfire. I think that there are also, although you're like, let's please stick to that, I think that there's also, oh gosh, but maybe you are quite a simple person, which is a beautiful thing. There's definitely like lots of, I was going to say like nudity. There's not nudity. I think there's lots of like somersaulting. What I'm visualizing is somersaulting. Maybe I could be like a psychic reader. Somersaulting, like learning how to do tricks. Like that's the strong thing that I'm getting, is like tricks with your body, like skills with your body. Things that you can do without a lot of resources.
This outfit choice is making a lot of sense now. You look like a tarot card reader.
Wait, maybe I'm thinking like...
this has all been planned.
No, none of this has been planned. But maybe we're all just going to actually like lean into the skills that we have in our body, and we're going to create like a little circus act, me, you and Leo, living remotely, and we can all... How cool would that be? We're all doing like acro yoga.
This is the Greatest Showman, our version.
Wouldn't that be... Yeah, but without like the fire and the cheating.
The what? Cheating?
Isn't there cheating in Greatest Showman?
No, there is. This is a good point. That's a strong theme that I forgot about. There is, yeah.
Thank you.
Back to my therapy.
And then I think I guess there's quite a lot of like vehicles and like grilling machines in there.
Okay.
And then maybe like some paintballing. I don't know, but
no. That's not on my dream. That's not on my love board.
All right.
Good crack, though.
Good crack.
Seems like a pretty good reflective image of Ryan.
What would you add then to your mood board?
I would like my lifestyle to reflect more of a beach lifestyle.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like longer, blonder hair, like me and Leo with little surfboards. I'm thinking of like wooden cabin things, like maybe like more like forest experiences. Mm-hmm. What else am I thinking?
That's interesting. So you're actually visualizing yourself as looking a bit different.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the version of me that feels most true in some ways.
What, having like longer, shaggier, rougher hair?
Yeah.
What, a bit more blonde from the outdoors?
Yeah, and not really wearing shoes too much and having like quite minging, dirty feet. But it's like, yeah, that's me. Right. Okay. So this is the part of the show where I have to articulate and describe to you what your mood board is, and I'm visualizing this as like an Instagram grid, basically, in my head. Remove the word Instagram. Like, imagine you got a wall, right, and you got blank canvases all tiled up on there. Mm-hmm. Shut your eyes and go there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
go to that studio.
What studio?
Any studio. Think of like a New York kind of like high ceiling, exposed kind of like steel frameworks and brickwork.
Nice.
Okay, with like dark window frames and big windows.
Okay.
Quite high up in the building.
Oh, I'm already. Is this my my vision board?
Yeah.
Because this is a good start.
And you've got like brushed concrete flooring with big steel kind of metal tables around you. And this studio is not a random thing. This is actually one of your studios that you use for meetings, primarily with your different teams. Because you, on this mood board, Louise wears a few different hats. On the one hand, you've got the super active mum who obsesses around the idea of La Santa and sort of beach poolside holidays with bowls of nectarines and fresh fruit salads and
sorry, can I just, is La Santa that sports holiday?
Yeah, is that the one they
so funny.
La Manga, fuck
Yeah, but like same drill, and funnier even that there's like a more modern one.
Yeah, it's La Manga. So there's this active mum who's wearing like a swimsuit, and Leo's in this part of the collage, and within that you've got things like just your very basic but very, very fun family beach games, like lobbing a beanbag into a hole. And you've got like frisbee and beach volleyball. Like there's a lot of that's coming out of the collage. And then you change hats and you've got this like hard-hitting, bolshy little ball of energy who's got a team of people around her, and they're running this whole division line that is basically an extension of your own wardrobe. It's your own fashion collection. It's got a very cool name, which is something like Untouched, something like that. It feels quite... it feels a little bit kind of... I'm getting like earthy tones from it, like long linens, neutral colours, but then you have this whole separate line, which is very vibrant and empowering for women. So there's a lot of the collage is about like women and empowering women through fashion that you've curated. And then we move into this another version of Louise, which is really about, I don't know if you're the estate agent role or you're the property developer tycoon who's got a whopping portfolio of property in New York, by the way. We're still in New York.
A moving country.
Yeah, we're in New York.
This is great.
We're in New York.
I've got untouched in a property empire.
Yeah. And, this is where you've got your, what do you call them, pencil skirts and clipboards. And this is where you're driving around in your, like, obscenely large American-style SUV. But you're in the back seat, obviously. There's a driver.
No, sure.
And yeah, and you've also got those new glasses on your face at this point. Fucking hell.
I've just opened my eyes. Your eyes are closed. We're taking this so seriously, which is actually so cool. But also, it's like we're like speaking to someone else. It's like we're drawing wisdom from the gods right now.
Well, what I'm attempting very badly to do is like extract like some real strong themes in your life. So it's like you got the motherhood active mama thing, you got the property thing that I'm just convinced you're meant to be doing. You've got the whole fascination. Why are my eyes still closed? So the fascination around New York and living and working in New York, and then this whole like, I know you love the idea of a warehouse restored vibe with like fashion rails and clothing items just everywhere.
Am I like Devil Wears Prada vibe then?
No, I'm getting more of like a what's her name, Christine Cavallari kind of, but cooler vibe. She's pretty cool, and I used to fancy her a lot. So
Sorry.
we'll lock that in.
We've just taken that in a different direction. That's actually sounds pretty ideal, everything that you've just said. but not necessarily the things that I had on my list.
I don't think I've really answered the question, but I just described what I think is on your vision board.
Have I ever said to you that I would like to have a clothing line and a warehouse?
Yes, not directly as two sentences like that, but yes.
It would be cool, wouldn't it, to have a clothing line? It'd be nice to have a business that just takes you away from the weeds of the social media stuff.
All right, so that's quite a cool exercise to like bury into what your partner sort of wants and maybe visualizes from their life.
Yeah, and I think it's actually interesting, isn't it? Because then we get to get inside each other's heads. Like, I know what you think that I want without having to be like so direct about it. It's a nice way into a conversation. But I think then we move on to the next kind of category, if you like, which is looking at each other's pasts. And I wonder if there's anything that you think from my childhood that I've brought through into the current day. Like, is there anything that's shaped me as a person?
I would imagine the divorce of your parents has impacted you and your trust in that whole marital system, and maybe impacted your reasons for not yet being married. I think that the way your dad drives his car has negatively impacted how you think I can drive my car. And I think that because you were an amazing student and probably very well behaved as a child, I think you assume that is the standard and what Leo should be replicating.
That's quite a lot.
I think, well, again, I say this very often, but because you were surrounded by both mum and dad who were into the property game and in different ways, I just think that that's in your DNA. And I really think that you come alive when you're in that space or time in your life where you're looking to scoop up property or whatever it is. So those are the things that spring to mind, yeah, from your childhood. What about you?
I'm trying to think of like obvious character things. I think the big things from your childhood that I notice, if I'm looking at your childhood and I'm thinking of things that stand out, the things that perhaps set you aside from other people, are the fact that you feel like you were brought up as an only child because you're 7 years younger than your brothers, and also that you moved around a lot as a child because your dad was in the military, which meant that you never really had a permanent base and like a permanent friendship group. I've never thought about connecting the dots between that and perhaps you being really, really strict on who you spend time with, and like you're quite you've got few friends but very, very good friends, and I think you're quite picky, and I think maybe that is because you've had to have friendships in the past that you've had to let go of whenever you've got close. I think that you have an incredibly close relationship to your mum because you spent so much time with her growing up, because your dad was in the military and you guys moved a lot, but also because your other brothers were much older. So while they were away, maybe at boarding school, you were at home with your mum and you guys looked after each other. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's definitely something that still shows today. And I think that that's a really wonderful thing. And I hope that, you know, me and Leo have a similar relationship, because you speak so highly about your mother and you respect her so much. And I think that that is one of the most important things. Definitely for all the girls that are out there listening, if you want to find a good man, find a man that speaks highly of their mother.
Yeah.
What about relationships, like past relationships? Do you think that they've shaped you or me?
I would hazard a guess that spending all of your 20s on a show and having relationships publicly viewed, judged, and having that whole thing play out, I would imagine, and again, this is not coming from like a viewer's perspective, but just me knowing you, I know that there were some tricky relationships and you were mistreated by different people, and that's probably, understandably, maybe dented how free and open you are to believe and trust men, and maybe forced you to, I don't know, put some level of boundary around like the real inner circle of Louise.
I think that's probably true, and perhaps one of the reasons why I've been fairly non-committal in subsequent relationships, and also probably why I feel like I need to be so fiercely independent. I feel like we're actually in therapy now. We're kind of really like digging into each other, aren't we?
Your turn.
I don't know as much about your relationships as you do about mine, because yours were not up for public consumption, so I couldn't watch about them on TV, which is probably a good thing, or maybe I'd get a bit jealous. Although, as we discussed a few episodes ago, I don't think either of us are hugely jealous people. I know that you had a tricky first relationship, and I do think that first relationship always leaves you with some scars. I know that I was scarred by my first love cheating on me a couple of times, and it took me really, really long to recover from that. And I know that your first relationship ended quite badly, and then I believe that she was like desperate for you back and did some weird stuff to try and get you back, and that probably left you a bit wounded. And I'm trying to like, in terms of what it's left you with today, I think you've been a tough nut to crack. Like, you've taken years and years and years to really kind of open up and to go there around like tricky conversations. I think that, like, the moment we like jumped into the relationship together, you've always been in it wholeheartedly, and that really helped us, or helped me with my prior experience. I just felt super confident around you. There was no game playing with you, and I needed someone like you that was just like real steady. So I don't know whether there was somewhere else along the line in other relationships that you had in between where you kind of like resolved those issues. Like, you ironed out the creases with other relationships before you got to me.
Potentially. Yeah.
Okay, stresses. Like, what do you think that I struggle with the most?
All right. There's a few that are jumping out of the page at this point. I think you really struggle with saying no to people. You have a real fear around letting people down, to the point where you won't communicate, you'll break down, and you'll do yourself a bit of a disservice, and it just murkies the water even more. You don't prioritize your own happiness from events and things. You're more concerned with other people having a good time, and is the group kind of gelling and socializing. So you'll let go of your own enjoyment of something ahead of other people's. And
what really stresses me out?
Incompetence.
That's true.
What else really stresses you out? When I walk away from an argument.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else you've taken from your childhood and put it into your adult life is you have an awkwardness when it comes to receiving a gift or a compliment. You can't open a present at Christmas or birthdays, and if you do, you want it to happen simultaneously as other people are opening their presents. So you have and this is a conversation that could go really deep, but you obviously don't like the limelight that much at all, which is probably why you don't want to get married, because you're completely paralyzed by fear of walking down the aisle.
So how have I ended up in this position then if I hate the limelight? Because actually I think that you're telling a lot of truth, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do like being invisible. And so when someone gives me a compliment, I can't be invisible.
Well, I suppose you could say you weren't born for the role you have, but you've adapted and adjusted over the years. But it's hard. It's hard. You're kind of like having to reshape your
mold
yourself
to whatever demand comes my way. Which isn't, I don't know, is that the best way to live your life? Or should you be thinking, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this is who I want to be, this is not who I want to be, but this is who I'm comfortable being, and then find a world that works for you?
I think this is a commonly felt thing. I think we all end up in this trap, and I think one of the first things that therapists will say is, let's release your inner child, or let's bring out those first joys and happy memories. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And for me, my worst memories are anything to do with standing up in front of a crowd. And so doing that, definitely one of the reasons.
Yeah, I think the route back to happiness, or the route to happiness, is doing what feels that is within your mold, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't have to like stretch too far and...
Yeah, because then you snap back like putty.
Correct.
Or you just snap in half.
Correct.
What stresses you out? People, like a lot of people in your space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely if there are people like unannounced in your space, having lots of people like in the home, being like in big crowds, definitely being in big crowds of lots of loud people and like really loud personalities. I know that makes you feel uncomfortable and maybe even like irate, you just want to run from that environment.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be quite sensitive when people say things to you that aren't necessarily like super deep, like the sort of odd like comment, I think that you can find quite cutting. So if, and I suppose to make this about us, if I say something to you that's like little bit of an insult, like you can sometimes run a mile with it. And it's like, actually, even if I'm not intending for something to be an insult, but if it could be like taken the wrong way, like you will take it the wrong way. Whereas I feel like
That's not something that stresses me though.
but it does stress you out if you
insult me, yeah. That's a pretty common
No, but
thing.
like not even if it doesn't have to be an insult. Like I can say something that isn't that deep. It's more just a reflection that I'm sure like 10 people in a room would like agree with, and it's more just like some feedback. And sorry, this sounds like it's kind of like personal to the podcast. I'm sort of imagining a made up scenario here, but I think you get like, you're very like sensitive to feedback, and that stresses you out. Not enjoying this now because maybe this is exactly what's happening now. But this is not a bad thing, Risey. But see, I want to know why that's affected you so much, because it's not bad. Like, look at all my flaws. I've got so many, but there are some things that if I mention with you, like that is like very hard for you to pull yourself back up from. And like this, like you sometimes feel like I'm attacking you and that I'm not on the same side as you. Where does that come from?
I don't quite know, but I think it's just down to the delivery, I suppose. Feedback is fine if it's like constructive and positive, even if the content is a bit like, you need to do this differently, you're doing shit. I don't know. Maybe it dates back to childhood. Maybe it's like probably within my short span of playing half decent rugby, coaches making me feel shit.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Another thing I've just remembered is you get stressed when people are like very like not assertive, but people that are like asserting their authority on you. So like if a policeman was to come and like tell you off and you didn't think that you were doing anything wrong, that would absolutely ruin you.
Yeah. That's very true. I don't do well with figures of authority. That is true.
So keep this guy out of the courtroom, please.
Yeah.
And I guess that then ties in with like this final point, which is morals, values, and things that are important to them. And I do think that you have like a strong moral compass. As an example, like someone tried to steal a few bikes from us and you completely like
Robin Hooded it.
In your mind, yeah, you Robin Hooded it, but yeah, and you actually stole someone else's bike back off the thieves. Yeah. So I think that that's your moral thing. It's like, you hate seeing people do wrong. So yeah, morals are, you hate people doing things wrong, or like baddies, basically, like a bad person, bad egg, a baddie, a villain in a movie.
I would like to be a vigilante. Yeah.
That's your thing. Ryan's dream job is a vigilante. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. I'd like to be. Have you seen the film The Equalizer? Takes out the scum, handles all the stuff that shouldn't be happening.
You really align with that.
I know.
And that's why you're like smiling. Okay, so how do we? Okay, so we basically need like huge career shifts. But could you be a hooded hero in a forest? Because it's not that much bad behavior going on around sheep and lakes and seaside stuff.
I think there might actually be, because people think, we can get away with it out here. We'll just bung a body in the hill.
So what would your role be then as the vigilante down there?
Ooh, I'd be patrolling in like a very unmarked car, like a little Citroen Picasso or something that was just the norm out there. And I'd be on patrol the whole time. I'm so observant. I pick up all detail. I'd be able to drive past a shop or a coffee place or a restaurant. I'd be able to scan the room and I'd be like, I know what's going to happen. Yeah. I'd pull up nice and gentle. I'd just hang out. I'd sip my coffee and I'd just look at my watch and I'd time myself just like on The Equalizer. And within 19 seconds, I've handled the situation.
You've literally just like role played that, but with like such precision. You like tapped the watch even, like you've practiced that in your sleep. Have you had dreams about that?
No, I'm just, this is how I'm revealing how old I am. Like I actually go into situations and I'm like, I could take care of this.
Well, we need to get you some training then.
I told you that my dream job was an animator for Walt Disney. Scratch that. I want to be Robin Hood. I want to be...
This guy's big dreams.
Yeah, I want to be a vigilante.
Well, you could just dream to be part of the armed forces or the police force.
No, because people are expecting it, and it's an organised unit. I don't work in organised units. You all know that. Let me do my thing by myself.
Okay, he's got to be a lone ranger.
Yeah.
I walked past a police car, no shade, but like a few days ago with you. Or there were 3 women sat in there, and they were all on their phones scrolling. And I thought,
Right, there you go.
that's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Yes. Cue the vigilante. So, I mean, well, I don't know if this is a moral or just a personality trait / quality, but you've always been very humble, which I think I hold that as a very attractive, valuable trait in a person, male or female, and I think that's a really good thing. So basically, being kind and being humble is like that's like top of the list as a human being. So you're right up there.
And you're a vigilante because you hate bad. So we're both...
Well, yeah, so basically, am I Batman and you're Robin, or are you Robin and I'm Batman?
So we could be like wingmen.
Put it this way,
like,
I don't mind being the Robin in this situation.
You're more Wallace and Gromit vibes.
Wallace and Gromit. So yeah.
Where's the cheese?
Listen, I'm sweating my bag off over here. So where are we moving on to next?
What I want to know from you, Ryan, then, is if we look at our 2 pictures, these boards.
Oh yeah.
Are we a good fit? Are we compatible, or are we calling it quits?
Well, I think what we've established is that our collages look very fucking different.
I think the only things really that we're aligned in are like the activeness, like the sports and the kindness. Like we're good people.
No.
And we like to be active.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's basically chalk and cheese. It's like Twix and Mars bar, ice cream sorbet, city, living countryside. When
I went camping with Leo, he had a little tub of ice cream. He finished it off. And we were around like just normal cool people. He was like, Daddy, where's the sorbet? I was like this.
Wait, what?
I was like, Leo, when have you ever asked for sorbet? / now is not the time. We're around cool people.
Wait, I didn't know that he knew what sorbet was.
Me neither.
Bloody hell.
I think you've done us a disservice there. We don't just connect on the sports and active style of life. There's more. Whether that's like music, live music, fashion, a little bit of the Japanese stuff going on, whether that's travel, skiing. We're both into snow sports. I've taken it back to bloody sports already.
Yeah, it's sports. It's fine.
Sports.
It's fine. As long as you've got like one key theme that you can get together on, then we're all good.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yep.
The whole love mapping thing is going to be, I think, quite a hard sell for a lot of dudes. If you sit down and be like, should we do a bit of love mapping tonight? I think most dudes would be like, no. No, let's not.
You've got to pick your moments then. So what, can people go on a lunch break on a Wednesday? Hey, can we just have a quick Zoom and do a love map from your office to mine?
I think the only
how's the best way to get a dude to want to commit to the love map?
I think the only way this works is actually take a little bit of inspiration from how you started. Because you were like straight in there with this like very descriptive, and it turned into a form of therapy. I was like, this is great. And you were quite accurate with it. So if you're going to do love mapping tonight, people, I think the women should start. Okay. And I think you should overly just be the hype man. Just be like, I can see it all happening for you. It's going to happen. Just manifest. Just shut your eyes. Make him feel good. And then he's in.
Okay, sweet.
Because if it had gone any other way, I would have, I don't know, jumped in a frigging car and been gone.
Good. I like the honesty. That's what we're here for. Not trying to get you to have a chat about anything in bed late at night.
I don't want to do that in bed. There's 2 things happening in that bed for me, and talking's not one of them.
What about dirty talking?
No, actually, not really that into. Actually, I am.
Wait, what?
This is going a different route. I'm doing a sign off.
We've never dirty talked.
Yeah, we have. Yes, we have. I do it all the time to you. I did it last week, and you actually laughed. So I was like, Louise, this is not a laughing moment.
That's what I mean. We don't do dirty talk.
I'm going to try again.
Okay.
Anyway, if you do the exercise and your collages don't match up, don't panic, because it will leave some empty tiles on the canvas to maybe add in some stuff that crosses over, some shared things.
Should we say it together?
No.
3, 2, 1. Watch the YouTube.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you're doing it.
I'm not 5.
Come on.
I'm not 5.
You are. 3, 2, 1. Watch the YouTube on Sunday. Thank you. You're nicer when you close your eyes, by the way.
That's because I can't see your facial expressions that are like this.
Do you ever close your eyes when we're having sex?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
Yeah.
No, I'm not actually going to answer that honestly.
Well, that's a yes.
I'll see you on Monday for the AUA, yeah?
Would you prefer me if you were never looking at my face? So shall I just walk around with a paper bag on my face?
No. Just wear your glasses first of all so you can see me. To stop me doing this. And then if I say something you don't agree with, just be like, rather than be like, just be like, sweet.
All right. Okay.
Right, anyway, well, see you on Monday for the Ask Us Anything, and thanks very much. I'm going to just rub my hair out, my follicles.